Yo, what's up, everyone? LSU football fans, LSU Nation in general. I just want to do a quick video and talk about the state of LSU football. Now, maybe you've seen this video or maybe you didn't see the video, but a few months ago, I posted a video about, I asked the question whether or not the LSU fan base, whether or not we were delusional. I'm an LSU fan. I'm from Louisiana. No, I didn't graduate from LSU, but I've been, I've been pulling for LSU since 1998. So when I first started getting into football, and I asked the question whether or not the fan base was delusional, because a lot of the fans seemed that we was going to be able to repeat the same success that we had under Joe Burrow and Joe Brady, Dave Aranda. I predicted on that video that we would go, before they said what the schedule would be, I predicted that we would lose, a few games, and that we would, not get back to the national championship. Then with the COVID schedule, they said that they was playing 10 games, and I said, okay, then we will go 8-2. But that's not gonna happen. We already lost 2 games. All right, I was on the fence about Miles Brennan. Miles Brennan has completely shut me up. I know he struggled in that Mississippi State game, but hey, it was his first time really taking the team. I think he may have had a little bit of a, stage fright, but I'm off, bashing Miles Brennan. I am 100% behind Miles Brennan. The problem that I have an issue with is Bo Pelini. I've said it on Twitter. I'll even post the tweets. I said it on Twitter. I said it to other people in person that I just didn't think the Bo Pelini hire was any good. Bo Pelini is a washed-up defensive coordinator. I know a lot of people in LSU Nation say, oh, well, look at what he did in 2007 whenever he was with LSU. Yeah, they did work magic and they won on the big stage. But, I mean, that's a long time ago. That's 2007. When LSU won that national championship in 2007, I was in Fallujah, Iraq. I was 21 years old, all right? I'm not that old now. I'm 34 years old, but I was 21 at the time. Bo Pelini left and went to Nebraska or wherever he went to, and he got fired from Nebraska, right? This supposed to be this great defensive-minded coach. He got fired from Nebraska. He went to Youngstown State, wasn't doing so great there as a head coach, and then who comes to get him? Coach O. And it wasn't like Youngstown State was, trying to hold on to Bo Pelini. It was like, take him. That's because they knew that he is not what people thought he is or what he used to be, okay? I just think Coach O, instead of wanting to do his research and find someone that was really qualified for the job, he wanted to just go hire a big name, but a big hollow name, right? Coach O, yeah, Bo Pelini has a big name from what he used to be, but he's not that anymore. He's hollow. And when I say hollow, it's because he's a has-been, right? I don't even think when Bo Pelini was a head coach, a defensive coordinator at LSU, the spread offense or an attack like the air raid was even a big thing. You know what I mean? If it was, LSU probably didn't face it while he was there, but LSU's defense looked totally unprepared versus Mississippi State. Totally unprepared. And right when I seen that they was hiring Bo Pelini, I read up on Bo Pelini, and, they said that he has a fiery attitude. He likes to, yell at the players and all that stuff. And I was just like, you know what? That type of attitude these days with these kids can make and break them. I know Nick Saban appears to be a yeller, but whatever they got going on there, I guess that's been, working for years. LSU kind of comes off as like a family type team where you can come, be yourself, you make mistakes, you get yelled at, but you just don't get scorned. And Bo Pelini seems like a scorner, because the reason why I say that is because it's been reports on Twitter, and I'll leave that screenshot up too so you can see it, so I can give my man his credit at Ayo Sports on Twitter, that Bo Pelini has been yelling at the players. The players don't want to play for him. Our all-world cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. and Bo Pelini got into it, and you can kind of see it on the field. The kids just don't want to tackle. It's just like they're just selling it in. I truly believe that if they went to the team today and asked them who wanted to opt out till next season, or next season as in turn like the underclassmen that's not eligible for the NFL, hey, do you want to opt out until next season, or to the juniors or the seniors that's available for the drafts, do you want to opt out and get ready for the draft? I guarantee you half of the people on defense will probably say I'm out, because it just feels like something is off. Everyone's always writing off LSU. No, we recruit 4 and 5 star studs. Like, I can go on and on. We still got studs on that defense. And for them to think that LSU is just like melding it in, it's something more to that on that defense, because we have 4 and 5 stars on that defense. It's just whether or not they want to play for Bo Pelini. I just don't think Bo Pelini is a good hire. Coach O had the nerve to come out and take a shot at Dave Aranda. Even Jacoby Stevens took a shot at him versus Missouri. He had multiple blown coverages. Damone Clark came out and took a shot at Dave Aranda, seems like, and he looked lost versus the Mississippi State game with all of the crossing routes, and the same thing versus in the Missouri game. He seemed lost. Dave Aranda, may have had like bad defenses, but it always seems like he made adjustments, which Bo Pelini didn't do versus Mississippi State, because they admitted that Bo Pelini didn't make adjustments. And hell, I don't know if he made adjustments versus Vanderbilt or also Missouri. The dude is just stubborn, or maybe he's just not familiar with the types of offensive attacks that's been thrown at LSU, because he's old school and he's washed. And maybe he's just too stubborn to read up on new offensive concepts and how to defeat them. I don't know. It's just what I personally believe. But I just didn't like the fact that Coach O took a shot at Dave Aranda and had players take subliminal shots at Dave Aranda, because Dave Aranda moved on to be a head coach. When the reason, let's be honest, Coach O is not a mastermind when it comes to X's and O's. So he surrounds himself with great people. Joe Brady and Dave Aranda. That's what you're supposed to do. I think, them two, without them two last year, we probably would have never got to that big stage and won that national championship versus Clemson. Let's be honest, like, that's my personal opinion. I got respect for Coach O, but I'm just saying he's not a great mastermind at the X's and O's. He's just a great recruiter, motivator, and he knows how to get the right people. But in this very situation, he struck out with Bo Pelini. They need to demote Bo Pelini, or let him stay as defensive coordinator for the rest of the season, and then do what they did to Matt Canada. Let that ball go after one season, because Bo Pelini ain't it. I don't have the stats for you, but you can go look up LSU's stats, their defensive stats versus the run, the pass, especially the pass. It's bad. Like, our defense is at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this defending against a potent offense, right? If Vanderbilt would have had more studs on offense, the game probably would have been closer, or Vanderbilt probably would have beat us, right? Next week we go in to face Florida. You already see what Florida's offense is doing. The only reason why we might stand a chance to win that game is because we have an offense too that can get into a shootout. But if the defense is needed to make a stop, I'm not confident in Bo Pelini. I am not indicting none of the players, but I am indicting Bo Pelini. Coach O needs to fire Bo Pelini after the season. Demote him now. Elevate Coach Corey Raymond, the DB coach, to a defensive coordinator. Demote Bo Pelini and cut ties with him after the end of the season, like I did Matt Canada. Because the way how LSU's defense is playing is complete and utter bullshit. I just had to get that off my chest. This is a raw video, no editing. Like I said, I'm gonna put out the tweets that I threw out about Bo Pelini, and also about the players being disgruntled at Bo Pelini. As always, like, subscribe, comment on the video. I really appreciate the feedback, and I'm out.